All right, so the next example that we're going to look at is the conjugate method, and this is useful for limits with radicals. So if you have a limit that has a radical and after substitution you get 0 over 0, this is something you'd like to do. So here's just a quick example. We've got the limit as x approaches 5 of this function, and when I plug 5 in, I've got the square root of 16 minus 4 divided by 5 minus 5, and again it's 0 over 0, which is our Woodstock moment. So I know I need to do some form of algebra. Okay? It doesn't make sense to factor this, right, because you can't factor it. All right, but what I can do is rationalize it. Okay, sorry, that was awkward. So what I can do is rationalize this numerator, and to do that, you use the conjugate method, right? You multiply by the conjugate. So the conjugate of the numerator is x plus 11, and instead of writing minus 4, it's now plus 4, over the square root of x plus 11 plus 4. Now, when I distribute, I do not want you to distribute the denominator. Leave it the way it is. So when I do this, a radical times itself is what's underneath the radical. So that's x plus 11. Then I've got plus 4 rad x plus 11 minus 4 rad x plus 11. So those cancel. So the last thing I'm left with is minus 16. Now in the denominator, do not distribute, just leave it alone, and you'll see why in just a second. Remember, your goal is to get things to cancel. You want that 0 that you're getting to cancel, and it will happen right now. Don't forget every time to keep on writing the limit as x approaches whatever that number is. So here it's 5, because it's not an actual number until you're done. So in the numerator, I still have the limit as x approaches 5. And in the numerator, look, I've got x minus 5, which it's going to end up canceling with this x minus 5 in the denominator. So when I go through and I cancel these, this function that I initially started with in red is the same as the one I'm about to write. Technically speaking, the limit is going to be the same. 1 over the square root of x plus 11 plus 4. And now and only now when I do the substitution, I can stop writing the limit. So I've still got 1, and I've got the square root of 5 plus 11, which is 16, plus 4. Square root of 16 is 4, so 4 plus 4 is 8. So 1 over 8 is my answer. Okay? Let's try another one together, and then you can work on the last one alone, and I'll just have the answer up for you. Okay? So for this one now, you've got it in the denominator, but it's the same exact process. And what you're going to do is first you're going to try substitution. And I've got 0 in the numerator. Square root of 4 is 2, minus 2 is 0. So 0 over 0, you know you need to do algebra. I'm going to erase this stuff. Okay, so I need to multiply by the conjugate of the radical piece. So it's going to be the square root of x plus 6. Notice how the sign underneath the radical stays the same. The only one is the one in the middle that changes. X plus 6 plus 2 over the square root of x plus 6 plus 2. And now when I distribute, you want to keep the limit as x approaches negative 2. Don't distribute the numerator. You only want to get rid of the radical where the double radicals are. In this case, it's the denominator. All over, I've got here the two radicals cancel, so it's x plus 6, watch your sign, minus 4. Okay? This is x plus 2. You agree? Which allows me to cancel this and this. So this limit is as x approaches negative 2 of this function, square root of x plus 6 plus 2. And now once I do direct substitution, I don't have to write limit anymore. So this is just 4 plus 2, which is 4. Okay. Pause it and try the next one on your own. When you're done, check back to make sure you got the right answer, and then I will tell you what questions you need to do on the worksheet. All right, so for the last one, you should have gotten 1/6. Make sure that you changed the question when I asked you to in class. This should have read -1 and this should have been changed to 10. That was just a typo. All right, so once you're done with this, if you understand what's going on, if you could please complete for me numbers 8. Actually, just complete number 8 on the worksheet.